When you have an ankle, typically how do they sprain it? Inversion. They're rolling it inward. So we're going to make sure that when we are taping them, we are keeping them neutral and pulling them slightly outward. If they happen to pull it out and they roll it out and they have that eversion ankle sprain, we're still keeping them neutral. That is not a woohoo, now go in, because now we're gonna have double-sided. Sorry, let me just like completely tear your ligaments there. When you tape, you want them in this full lovely 90 degree. Reason that you start getting faster is because this is not a fun position to hold. So we hold them there. You're gonna start with your pre-wrap. It's pretty, it's easy to tear. If you can't tear this, I really have a lot of questions. Like, I'm sure someone's like, I can't tear it, and I still have questions. On your instructions, it says you can start here and go up and go down. I'm gonna tell you, I just start right at the top. So that way I don't have to worry and I only have to deal with this heel once. I wrap around the heel, wrap around the foot, wrap around the heel, wrap around the back of the ankle. From there, because I would like this to be covered, pre-wrap is not necessary. You can tape without it. You just need some sticky spray, and then you would like the guys to shave, or everyone to shave. So I'm gonna come kind of around, hook the heel. You'll see that on this side I had a roll. Tear it off, it's easy. Here, same thing, come around, there. Pre-wrap is easy, but if you pull too tight or force it, it's going to do that and that roll. We don't want that, so just adjust, give it some love, find the angles. If you ever sat there and went, when am I gonna learn about angles in geometry? Here, find the angles. So that is your pre-wrap. You're then gonna do 3 anchors. The calf is not always circular unless you have just those interesting people that just don't have any muscles. So you're gonna kind of go half on, half off the skin. So half on pre-wrap, half on the skin, and kind of in an angle. You notice I didn't just do a circle, it is around there. What is that? Whatever. And I'm gonna do 3 of them. Half overlapping each time-ish. I'm not going straight on it, I'm just kind of, that way we provide the support and go from there. I also will say, some of y'all know how to tape an ankle, that's fine. I'm just gonna make sure you go through these steps, because this is the steps you have to learn in HOSA and most of your master's programs. And then once you get letters after your name, you can do whatever the crap you want. This is not how I tape, okay? You're then said, hey, do an anchor around the foot. Be mindful. If you go too tight, it's going to hurt, and when they step on it, it's going to cause a lot of tension and swelling. So we also wanna go around the base of the fifth, so on the side like here. So what I just do, just barely wrap, wrap. It is just an anchor for us to attach the future strips to. Voila, anchors. Woo. We are then going to do our stirrups. This is going to help prevent us going into inversion, eversion. So we always start medial side, on the inside. You're gonna go a little below the malleolus. I'll show you all over here as well. And you're going to want to be on the calcaneus, on the heel. Stop. And wrap around. And sometimes it might come up a little bit like that so that it's not wrinkled. This is very similar. Who's ridden a horse? When you put your feet in the stirrups, are you putting your arches, your balls of your foot, or should you put the heels? Should put the heels so you can steer. This is the same thing. We don't want it to go on the arch, because otherwise we're gonna cause issues when they start stepping. We want it to all be right on that heel. You then have, this is called a closed basket weave. Here comes the basket weave part. We're gonna do C-strips going up. So, C-strip here, see the anchor, around the back of the Achilles, up. And then we're going to do, again, your stirrups don't have to do the whole as much overlap, because otherwise sometimes there's not a lot of space to go. Your C-strips, you want some overlap. And on this, it's not gonna look completely, what y'all saw is a straight line over here, what you saw is over here, because I don't want any gapping or gaping underneath the Achilles. That's gonna cause blisters. One more C-strip, stirrup. And then C-strip, continue on, and then I'll continue the C-strips up to the anchors to secure and to give more security and stability to those stirrups, okay? this is where it gets fun, is we now have heel locks. So if you can see this level, if you can pretend that this is a right angle, you're going to try to make a 45-degree angle and just cut across it, make that triangle. You'll hear me say make that triangle. This is all about angles of the ankle. There we go. Making sure I said that right. So I will walk through this many times and I'm happy to demonstrate for you. You're gonna do 2 on each side. So you're gonna start, I start above the malleolus, superior to the malleolus. I wrap 2, the top of the heel, wrap around the back of the heel, come back, and kind of in parallel to where I started. Let me show it for y'all on the other side. Start above malleolus. You know what, I forgot scissors. Nope, I don't need that. Go above the heel, back around the ankle, parallel on top. This is also when it's a hard part because you're like, oh, here, and it's kind of like driving. When you stop or when you're on a 19th Street and you want to turn, do we stop and then turn, or do we kind of slow down and turn as we accelerate? Hopefully you have said the second, and you're like some of the grandmas out there that I'm like, you don't have to come to a full stop in the road. Please don't come to a full stop. So we'll do this again. Above the heel. So you can see as I hit that heel, I'm already starting to turn, come down, around. Okay. So then we have 4 heel locks, 2 on each side, and then you have your figure 8. Figure 8, just 2 circles, ever ending. Go with me. 1 circle, the other circle. So now our figure 8 just went here into a little right angle. So you need 1, wrap around, ta-da. Let me break that down again. You're gonna do a circle around. You saw that I just started here and I just wrapped around. Sometimes this is the hardest part to learn the angle on. So let me tell you a cheat. Circle 1 done. Circle 2 done. Now, normally after that, you would close up, finish, do the little anchor strips basically at the top. For the sake of me grading this, you'll stop here. Because what will happen is I will deconstruct your ankle tape to make sure you did everything correct. Okay? Any questions over the ankle? Fantastic. Let's move forward.